Hi there, Tracy Brown. I sit here humbly on the floor thinking about all my past and current clients and probably future clients and even myself. Just reflecting right now on how difficult this journey is to not only want to be free from food and body image concerns, but actually put one foot in front of the other to do the work, to accomplish that. And I want to tell you that it's perfectly normal to have days where it feels extremely hard and the siren song of being pulled back into wanting to go on a diet or just not care and eat to be numb and not to feel anything. That's going to happen. You're going to have days like that. So I'm just making this video to remind you that you're not going to feel okay some or even a lot of the time, especially at the beginning of this journey, and that's okay. And I'm here to encourage you that it's okay for you to feel not okay, that you don't have to judge the fact that you're not as far along as you'd like to be, or you're not as free as you'd like to be, even though you might have some insight. That's actually really normal. It takes a lot of time to rewire and repattern yourself into a new, freer way of being when maybe your whole life you've been living a certain way for a certain time. You could be starting this journey at 30 years old, but you've been food restricting or at least having a perfectionistic and restrictive mindset with yourself in terms of withholding compassion and nurturance. And that's what you know. You could have been doing that since you were 10 years old. So here you are 20 years later, and just 6 months or 1 year, 2 years into a journey of being not only free with your food and loving your body, but actually even loving yourself. That takes a lot of time to expand into that. So again, I'm with you and I hear you because I've been you and I am you. Even though I don't have any triggers or worries about food or body image at this point, I really don't. I mean, my body's changed a lot since I recovered, and that's been 15, we're going on 20 years now. I've had a kid, I've had a few health issues that I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with in terms of fatigue, and my body's definitely changed. And not that I don't have to be mindful of my eating or be flexible in making those adjustments even when that feels really hard. I don't like the fact that I've had to be very limiting with dairy. I love cheese, but my body, my gut especially, does not like it right now, and it may never will again. It's been very different since I had my daughter 5 years ago, how I digest that food in particular. So I'm accepting of that, even though sometimes it's difficult to be okay with it, if that makes any sense, and if that's helpful. That's just one example. And for me personally, food isn't even the issue anymore. It's really about looking at the places where I abandoned myself in my self-care, because that's kind of my go-to when I feel constricted or my nervous system's really riled up, because I'm a very sensitive being as well, is that my go-to is to kind of clamp down and try to do more. And I have to notice that with some gentleness with myself, like, oh yeah, I'm doing that thing again, where if I get myself really busy, I won't have to feel as much. So I pull it back and I wind it back, and I just look at, like, okay, so where in this did I abandon myself? Where in this did I not speak my truth? Where was I afraid? And even though my body's afraid, my mind knows better. My mind knows that I'm here right now and I'm okay. The same thing could be said for you in your journey with learning to listen to your signals of hunger and fullness, and learning to, no matter what anybody else around you is doing, whether they're dieting or not, that even if they are, that doesn't mean that that's where you want to be, even though part of you knows that, like, if I do that, I can be numb, or if I do that, I can get a false sense of confidence for a few minutes. It's totally understandable that you want to do that. You have neural pathways that are wired for that. And by learning not only how to honor your body through hunger and fullness work, and through self-care and compassion, radical compassion for yourself, you will also learn the other places in you that need some tending as well, around learning to be resilient around certain emotions and certain situations, and honoring who you really are. So that's all I have to say today. I just wanted to leave a quick little video to remind you that it's okay if you feel like that you're not as far along as you want to be, or you're not as free as you want to be, or maybe you're just starting and this is the first time you've ever watched a video of mine, to know that we all start somewhere and that it takes a long time sometimes to get to the place where we feel comfortable with being uncomfortable. Until next time, take care.